Hello and good day. As we continue with our communication series, let's talk about the pity party. You know, it's important that if you're going through things, that you're able to communicate them without seeming like you're always whining or complaining about things or as if nothing is ever right. When you communicate with people, it's important for you not to download all of your misery on people, right? So here's a good way to do that. If someone is calling you to communicate with you or having a conversation with you, and although like you may be having the most horrible day that you could possibly be experiencing, still take the time to listen to what the person is communicating with you. You know, take the time to listen to them and then give your honest opinion on what they're talking about. Now, if your mood is just so horrible that you don't feel you can be a more positive conversationalist at that moment, just let the person know, like, you know, hey, listen, I love to talk about this, but right now I'm not in a good mood, and instead of me putting my emotions on the situation, I'd rather for us to talk about it later. Who likes the Debbie Downer? You know, you have the friends you always call if something is always wrong, is always wrong, is always wrong. You can also be a positive person for them in communicating. Again, the most important part is just listen to what they're saying. And if you can give them any positive feedback, do by all means attempt to. Now, in the event that, you know, they're not hearing you, or, you know, they're just so depressed, then again, release yourself from the conversation. It's important. It's a two-way communication. You're listening and you're giving advice. You're listening and you're giving advice. You're giving advice and you're listening. It's a two-way street. So when you're communicating with someone, it's important to also listen as well as communicate thoroughly without your emotional baggage being downloaded on them. So again, if that's the situation that you're in, or if you have certain people that you always call and it's just always negative, another thing is just don't call that person. You know, try to communicate with them as least as possible until they get through that stage of life. I believe that we all go through things in life, and sometimes it's just like we want to vent, and there's nothing wrong with venting, but again, just don't be that Debbie Downer person or that pity party person, or, you know, every time somebody says something positive, you're saying something, oh, but negative, like you want to be positive at all times. So communication is a two-way street, and if you're in that situation, it's just best, again, to kind of like get out of the kind of conversation as polite as you can. You don't want to be rude to a friend that's really having a bad day, but if you notice it's something that goes on consistently, you can also offer your friend some things to do, like maybe meditation, maybe even yoga, or even just taking some time to themselves to do things for themselves. That's a good thing to do if you are, you know, having conversations with people you love, business, personal, even like colleagues. You know, you always see them in a bad mode, and every time you communicate with them is negative. Offer them some self-help stuff for themselves. You know, sometimes we as people think we don't need help, we're all right, and it's good for someone, a friend who is a friend, to just be honest with the person. Say, you know, hey, listen, every time we talk, you're kind of always down, and here's some things that you can probably most likely do to uplift yourself, you know. And if, again, you find that you're one of those people, then try to do things for you to help you and not just download your negative energy on people. Thank you.